Good evening and welcome. And thank you everybody for coming tonight and seeing a large crowd in our audience. Welcome to the February 28th, 2020 Valley View School District Board meeting. Member Berduris, the pledge please. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Member Perro, could you please read the affirmation of the Board Education Mission Statement?
Our mission is to empower every learner to be college, career, and life ready, and to develop, grow, and achieve as a productive citizen.
Ms. Kinder, the agenda, please.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask the board to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
The motion is second. Questions or any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Berduris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Motion passes. Student and staff recognition.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It is so awesome to see so many students, families, staff, administrators here with us this evening because there is a whole lot to celebrate. One of our favorite things that we do at board meetings, and we don't normally have a large in-person audience, is to celebrate all of you and the incredible accomplishments and stories that you all bring. So tonight we're going to do a lot of celebrating. To kick off celebrations this evening, we have our staff spotlight, and tonight we are featuring one of our very own leaders, Principal Mrs. Loretta Fortute, who is the principal at Hermanson Elementary School. She's a very inspirational leader that leads with true heart and passion. Take a few minutes to visit with Mrs. Fortute.
Good morning, boys and girls. Make sure we're lined up. Boys and girls, spread out a little bit, spread out a little bit. Are you at the end of the line here? There you go. That ice and that snow is tempting, but don't play in that, please.
My experience in school was, I think it was very challenging because I was a very shy, quiet girl. Very surprising, right? Very shy, quiet girl because I had a lot of things going on at home and a lot of things that weren't going on at home. And a lot of those things were, I felt that people where I lived didn't see me, didn't know me, didn't know my heart's desires. And then when I went to school, it was just like the same thing. There were very few people who kind of saw Loretta for who she was or what she needed. And so I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be the person to show up for everyone, for the kids who didn't look like me. I wanted to be the voice. I wanted to be at the table. I wanted to connect with kids and their families and help them through all the things that I was going through and all the things that I imagined in the stories that I wrote, the poems that I wrote, the life that I imagined. That's why I came into education.
When you were working for the Postal Service and you were thinking about pursuing a career in education, I'm sure you told some of your coworkers that you were thinking about this. What was their reaction?
Everyone thought I was crazy. They were like, why are you going to school? You have this wonderful job, you have great benefits, you make a lot of money, you work a lot of hours for all of that money, but everyone thought I was crazy. And I finished my degree actually as a carrier, going to school 2 days a week at Lewis University. And I don't know how I did that, to be honest with you, because it was full time. I was a minor in philosophy, so that was very exciting, but it was very overwhelming. And again, I had 2 young children too. So yeah, everyone thought I was crazy. They was like, why are you doing this? Why would you even think about going into education? And why education? And I've always wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be, again, working with kids and families that look like me, who didn't have access to all of the things that education would offer.
Meeting the needs of underserved students, I know, is one of the most important things to you personally. How do you make sure you meet the needs of those underserved students?
I sit at the table, I listen, I collaborate, I problem solve, I hear the unspoken needs of families, of individuals, and I have really, really difficult conversations. And I hold myself accountable, and I hold others accountable for every child that shows up at Hermiston Elementary School. It doesn't matter where they come from, what they look like, their race, their culture, their experience. There are underserved kids in every culture and race and religion and all those things, right? More often than not, those kiddos are Black and brown children. And for whatever reason, the system has not been set up for those students and families to be successful for a variety of reasons, actually. And I don't like throwing around the word power, but I'm in a position to hold people accountable, including myself, for advocating for those students and seeing that they get what they need while they're here. And I don't have a whole lot of time. They get through elementary school pretty quickly, right? And so I want to make a connection that they will remember forever, and know that if no one else fought for you, Loretta Fortute did.
Thank you, Mrs. Fortute, for all you do.
Okay, next we're going to have the 7th grade Iesa Class 7A State Champions. Come on down.
We know Dr. Wood is going to bring some energy tonight. I saw Dr. Wood lead the pep rally at Brooks Middle School on Friday afternoon, so I know he's going to bring us some energy to the board meeting tonight.
I'll keep it low key here. Okay, good evening to the Board of Education, Board President Quigley, Superintendent Kinder, members of the board, and senior leadership, our school community, and parents. It is with great pleasure that I present to you our 7th grade state champions. I think it's interesting when you think about the beginning of the season and how it's every athlete's and coach's hope and dream and wish to have a winning season, to perhaps make it to the state finals, and we were able to do that not once but twice because we have the 8th grades coming up too. Quite a remarkable achievement. I'm quite proud of their hard work, effort, and dedication. And to tell you a little bit more about these fine gentlemen, we'll start with our 7th grade coach, Mr. Mankins. Please come forward.
Good evening, everybody, superintendent, board, community. Thank you for having us. It's appreciated. We love going around, and thank you guys just for your support in this entire process. So I am Coach Jeremy Mankins. I'm an 8th grade social studies teacher at Brooks Middle School. And just something about this season in particular. From the moment we had tryouts, we knew that this team, whoever was elected to be on the team, was going to be very special. You could see it from the talent in tryouts, the work ethic, the hard work, just how hard they were going during that brief period. But what really stood out to us, and Coach Cedar will attest, the players will attest as well, we said that depending on your character and depending on who you are in the hallways, in the community, and in the classroom, we may get a chance to play basketball. It was never a matter of talent. It was never a matter of who could dribble the ball the best or who could shoot the best. It was a matter of what they were going to represent themselves as. Because I was a firm believer that we'll just run the entire practice from the beginning of the season to the end of the season until you guys get that character is more important than basketball. We'll just condition the entire time. And at the beginning, we were running quite a bit at the beginning of practice. They were tired of running. They were like, why do we always have to run? It's not everybody, it's just a select few of us. But we made it a point to talk about teamwork and brotherhood and commitment and responsibility. And when one person falls short, we all fall short. And slowly but surely, they began to get that, holding each other accountable. And we really merged into a brotherhood, and we merged into a basketball program. And from there, we kind of just took off. We were winning games. We were taking care of each other. We shed tears. We lifted each other up. We laughed a lot. And the brotherhood really grew from that point. And that's what carried this program all the way through regionals, through sectionals, and then through state into a state championship. So I am extremely proud of their state championship, going undefeated. That is a remarkable feat, but what I'm more so proud of is their goal setting. They said this is what they wanted to do at the beginning of the season. They stick to that, they work together, they formed a bond like none other, and they accomplished that as young men, and they grew into leaders in the classroom and in the hallway. So I'm extremely proud of them. So I'm going to call the names of the athletes, student athletes that we have present. Unfortunately, some of us could not make it. They will be acknowledged and remembered as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and acknowledge them now. They'll come forward, shake the board's hands, and then we can have a round of applause for them at the end. All right. So, Kyle Offner. Jaden Cawthon. Davion Thompson. Amari Harris. Derek Langett. Aaron Rayford. Robert Sturdivant. Armand Taylor. Curtis Stubbs II. Pierre Harvey. And Renz Inhog.
We certainly look forward to these gentlemen returning and hopefully being here next year, getting the same accolades. So we look forward to the 8th grade year. Now coming up, 8th grade coach, our dean and coach, Dean Cedor.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I don't know if there's a whole lot more that I could really add other than what Coach Mankin said. Other than the one thing that I think struck me the most, and I know Coach Mankins would agree, was when the team gets together at the end, whenever we have a huddle, they always break it down. And when they do it, they say 1, 2, 3 Brooks, and then they end it with family. That really, when Coach Mankins was speaking about brotherhood, that's really what this whole season was about family. You know, we always think about every sports analogy you can imagine. During this season, we talked about playing as a fist. When you play as a family, you play as a fist, not as individuals. The season for the 8th grade team specifically started off with a speed bump. We started off with a loss. Once they bought into the family, the 8th grade team took off and won 17 in a row. So not only did we have, like we said, the success on the 7th grade level, but our 8th grade team as well. And Dr. Wood actually, the night that we won the 8th grade tournament, sent me a text message saying that since 1985, only 4 programs in the state of Illinois have ever achieved the 7th grade and 8th grade championship in the same year, and we are one of those 4. So for the whole program, we just want to say thank you to the community, thank you to the board, and everybody for all the support and encouragement that we had. It was a dream season. It was a wild ride, and we're really sad to see it come to an end, but we're already ready to go for next year. So without further ado, we're going to introduce, we have the same thing. We have a few young men who could not make it tonight, but we are going to recognize the gentlemen that were able to make it here with us. First, our manager, Abi Mumaretti. Jaden Giambra. The only 7th grader that played up with us on the 8th grade team, Davion Thompson. Tyler Perinas. Emmanuel Bavaro. Jaden Madden. Jason Vervac. And Josh Mempin.
Next on the agenda, we have Ihhsa, Health Occupation Students of America, Illinois Future Health Professional State Competitions. Go to the next one. Okay. Illinois High School Association Speech Qualifier, Dr. Piscavage.
Thank you. Board of Education, President Pro Temp Ihhsa, senior leadership, Ms. Kinder, our community, friends, colleagues, and students. Dr. Jason Pascavage, proud principal of Bolingbrook High School. There are moments where you're a very proud principal, right? We say it all the time. Today is one of those, but especially because of all the kids that are being recognized. Not only are we doing amazing academically, athletically, in everything that we're doing, and tonight that highlights the work we're doing at Bolingbrook High School. So we'll start off with Coach Talon and the chess team. I had the great fortune to go down and watch them play round 1 and some of round 2. If you've ever been to state chess, it is the hardest thing ever to get into. If you're not a coach, you can't even get near the ropes, and then they look for your little badge. It is an amazing environment with tons of tables and kids. If you ever get to see it from the windows, it's a pretty exciting time. So Coach Talon, talk a little bit about our kids. I'm going to wait right there for the kids.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, board and Superintendent Kinder. It is an honor to be here, and it's also an honor to bring this team to you tonight to be honored because they did so well this year. Every year our chess team gets better. Currently, our record for the season was 8-1, and it was only outdone by 2 other teams who also had an 8-1 record. So congratulations to the chess team on that finish. We had 4 members of our team rank in the top 10 for our division. We had 8 out of our 12 members rank all conference. Our final rank at state, although we improve every year, we ranked 52 out of 128 teams. We won 4 out of our 7 matches. At state, Connor Tynan and Trevor Fisher won 5 out of their 7 matches, so that was an accomplishment. Congratulations to them. This chess team is the best chess team in Bolingbrook history, and with that being said, out of all the accomplishments, the one memorable thing that happened this year was demonstrated with their high level of sportsmanship and etiquette at a chess meet. We went to this meet and the team was clearly inexperienced. Our raters helped them with understanding notation, illegal moves, explained it to them, and then went on to play the match. Our raters win with humility and they lose with integrity. That's what makes this team number 1. So with that being said, our team members, Albert Hune, Board 1, all conference. Connor Tynan, Board 3, All Conference, top 10. Trevor Fisher, All Conference, top 10. Aaron Premisberger, All Conference. Carter Mitchell, All Conference. Tejas Patniak, All Conference. Ruth Garcia, All Conference. Ryan Foster, State Qualifier. Blake Watcott, State Qualifier. And Aaron Colon, State Qualifier. Congratulations.
Okay, next we have the IHSA speech qualifiers.
And now Coach Donna Franks Tapley.
Good evening, everyone. I am more than proud to be here to represent the Bolingbrook High School speech team. I've coached Bolingbrook High School speech since the new building opened, and it's just been an honor and just a wild ride. Some seasons we have 35, 40, 50 kids. And last year during our COVID year, we didn't compete. It was all virtual and kind of weird. Going to a speech tournament on Zoom was odd, but we didn't compete. So this was our comeback year. We had just about 15 students most of the season. All but 2 were novice, just first year competitors, fresh. You're like, what are we doing? And I'm talking about students who get up on Saturday mornings with a suit on at 6 a.m., meeting me at door 1 at BHS, ready to go into a classroom and say the words that they have in their little bodies. And to be criticized for them about how well it's done or how dramatic it is or how funny it is. So speech is 14 individual events. And the student that I'm here to recognize, we prepped her for 3 events at the beginning of the season because she was that awesome. She came to me and my mouth opened like, okay, we love her. So we prepped her for 3 events. She lost her duet partner earlier in the season. The student transferred to Naperville, and so she was left with her 2 main events. And after our invitational season, Theodora said, Ms. Tapley, I think I'm gonna save my poetry program for next fall. You know, she's a junior. And because she watched some of the other competitors, and I really wanna focus on dramatic interp. And Theodora's performance is based on the history of women in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And it's an 8-minute dramatic interp, which is absolutely beautiful performance and just the story to tell. So she went in as a novice competitor and entered that regional and finished 3rd to advance her to the 4th and advance her to the sectional competition. And we went to sectionals and she finished 3rd to advance to state. Theodora is the first student I've ever had in all of those years to advance to state as a novice, as a first-year competitor. So that was already a feat. And so I'm just so proud to be here to acknowledge her and welcome her back next fall. We went to the state final competition. Out of the hundreds of thousands of kids that do dramatic interp in the state, only 18 go to state finals. That's it. There are hundreds of kids sat at home, and Theodora was blessed and to be able to compete. She finished 13th overall, and we're so proud of her and ready to have her back next fall. So without further ado, Theodora Poku Ajemat.
I don't know if you all noticed Coach Tapley's enthusiasm. She puts on one of the largest speech tournaments in the state on a Saturday and fills the whole entire school at Bolingbrook. So thank you, Coach. All right, next, we have our state qualifiers for wrestling. This is the first time ever that we've had girls qualify at state wrestling. We also had a boys individual qualifier, and we had a individual for girls place. So get a stand up on the stand, which is a huge accomplishment. I'm going to introduce our coach, Conrad Poles. It's his first year at Bolingbrook High School. But those of you that are familiar with wrestling, he's been to a few events like this in his life. He's a 3-time IHSA state champion, and he's a 2-time All-American in Illinois. So Conrad Poles, come on up.
2-time All-American, yes. Hello. Thank you, school board members, Superintendent Kinder, for honoring our amazing student athletes here tonight. Each of our 3 wrestlers honored here tonight, Joe McDermott, Aurelia Gillane, and Katie Ramirez-Quintero, are not only leaders on the wrestling mat, but in the classroom and in their communities as well. It was a privilege to coach them this year, and I am proud of their hard work, dedication, and accomplishments this season. Very quickly, this was my first year here at Bolingbrook High School. I had an excellent season, and these 3 student athletes really made it worth it for me. I'd like to quickly thank my coaching staff. One of them is here tonight, Coach Jordan Hovel, standing over here. My freshman coach, Chris Salerno, who could not make it, Coach Mike Poles, and Coach John Morrison, as well as my administration and the staff, as well as parents involved with the program. Thank you so much. I'm just going to spend a few moments recognizing each wrestler's individual accomplishments this year. So I'm going to call them up. I'm going to ask them to just stand briefly, if that's okay with you guys, while I talk about them a little bit. Our first wrestler, Aurelia Gillane. Come on up. Aurelia is a sophomore who finished the season with a 9-6 record. Aurelia took first place at the Oak Forest Bengal Bash and second at the Batavia Girls Wrestling Invite. Aurelia also took 4th place at sectionals and made history by becoming a state qualifier at the first ever IHSA Girls Wrestling State Tournament at 190 pounds. Thank you, Aurelia, and congratulations on a wonderful season. Katie, you want to come on up? This is Katie Ramirez-Quintero. Katie is also a sophomore who finished the season with a 13-6 record. Katie took first at the Oak Forest Bengal Bash and second at the Batavia Girls Wrestling Invite. Katie also took second at the sectional championships and made history by becoming a state qualifier for the first ever IHSA Girls Wrestling State Tournament, where she took 6th place, earning all state honors. Thank you, Katie, and congratulations on an excellent season. Joe, you want to come on up? This is Joe McDermott. Joe is a senior and was a leader on the wrestling team. He compiled a 29-13 record, taking first place at the Matosi Invitational Tournament, a 6th place finish at the Dvorak Tournament, and a 5th place at our conference tournament. Joe was also a regional champion, a 4th place finisher at sectionals, and a 2022 IHSA Wrestling State Tournament qualifier at 132 pounds. Joe will continue his academic and athletic career at St. Mary's University in Minnesota playing baseball. Thank you, Joe, and congratulations on an excellent career. Thank you so much.
Another fact, Joe is the 2nd McDermott in line to land at the state tournament. I think you guys have a few more coming that are going to get to the state tournament too back there? Yeah, all right. McDermotts are a wrestling family. Next, we have our cheer with Coach Shannon Price.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Paskevich. First, I'd like to thank the board for inviting us here for recognition this evening. Thank you to the administrators of Bolingbrook for all your support throughout the year, and a special thank you to Dr. Paskevich and Athletic Director Mr. Rose for coming out to the state finals and supporting us. Normally I write like a big long speech, but this year I didn't, so I'm just gonna go off on a whim. This year was challenging for our program. I'm sure everyone has said that. Coming off the year of COVID, the entire year last year, cheerleading was not allowed to stunt. It made a huge impact on all programs throughout the state, making this more of a challenging years than those in the previous. And we also had our own personal struggles within our program, making getting to state even bigger success this year. Every person has their own unique role within a program. Some people are top girls, some people are on the bottom, some are back spotting. And we had the whirlwind of trying to find flyers this year. So we went from starting off our season in the fall with 24 down to 20, and then we started competing 18, and then went down to 15, and then 13, and then 11. So this team really just got to discover life as putting we over me, and knowing that even if you do everything that you're supposed to be there for your team and be on the mat, we might not have the numbers to be able to do so. To watch all of them sit there and support whoever was on the mat in that moment at that competition, I think was my greatest pleasure as a coach, especially with all the personal things I went through this season. Personally coming back and coaching them and getting to state was just like the drive I needed. So I thank you all personally for that, because I couldn't have gotten it through without you. And a final shout out to my assistant coach, Alexis Kelly. I couldn't do it without her. She was crazy enough to spend all day in cares with me and then decide to coach with me as well. So I'm gonna start off by naming each one of these individuals. And just a quick one more note, like when we came to state this year, there's only 3 people who were on this team who were on our state team 2 years ago. So when we hear about those novice people, like Coach Talon said, like I feel like a lot of programs are going through that and having to build. So for kids to drive and push through to learn something new and be good at it is great. Gianna Barajas. Joylene Bills. Brandon Chen. Haley Engelman. Kaya Guilford. Jalen Johnson. Shariah Murray. I'll call her next. Cherish McDonald. I don't have it. Autumn Nillis. I don't have Trinity's either. Delaney Schaefer. I got you. Trinity Phipps. I don't have yours. Colby Wilson. I think they're missing.
And before Miss Lewis comes up to recognize our next group of kids, Miss Price's baby just first birthday this weekend, had her first piece of cake, the baby. It was pretty big. All right, now Jackie Lewis to introduce some more of our Raiders.
Good evening. Tonight we would like to congratulate the Bolingbrook High School students who have received as AP Scholars by the College Board. The AP program offers several AP Scholar Awards to recognize high school students who have demonstrated college-level achievements through AP courses and their exams. Bolingbrook High School is pleased to recognize the following students for their outstanding academic achievements. First distinction is the AP Scholar. An AP Scholar is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. During the 2021 AP administration, we had 101 AP Scholars. Those present tonight are Anika Babu, Kieran Bukowski, Trevor Fisher, Kashan Irvin, Roberto Lopez, Jessica Lazoya, Yasmin Nassim, Jalissa Navarez, Michael Perinas, Ashlyn Schnuty, Connor Tynan, Jordan Vanacora. The next distinction is the AP Scholar with Honors. This award is granted to students who receive an average score of at least a 3.25 on all AP exams taken and score a 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. During the 2021 administration, we had 34 AP Scholars with Honors. Those present tonight are Gianna Kapp, Ella Fry, Emma Harvey, Eileen Nigos, Tejas Patnick, and Danielle Vidad. Finally, we would like to honor our AP Scholars with Distinction. These are granted to students who receive an average score of a 3.5 or higher on all of their AP exams taken. The scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of their exams. During the 21 administration, we had 43 students who were recognized as AP Scholars with Distinctions. Those present tonight are Caitlin Barber, Hannah Chow, Kaylee Dreyer, Lizeth Garcia Perez, Delaney Moore, Aaron Primesberger, Andrew Stone, Brett Wasik, and Connor Wasik. A huge congratulations to all of our AP Scholars that are present tonight and who are not here, as well as to their teachers in the BHS community that help support them. Thank you.
Wow, what a celebration. This is awesome. All these kids and the parents here, it's absolutely wonderful. Good evening, President Pro Tem Zach, members of the board, Superintendent Kinder, members of senior leadership, members of the audience, and those of you that are viewing at home. My name is Derek Kinder. I'm the very proud principal here at Romeoville High School, and I am assisted tonight by our assistant principal of curriculum instruction, Mrs. Gina Smith, and we also have, go ahead, Gina Smith. And we also have Kristen Ogle and Krista Simpson over there helping us out, members of the leadership team at RHS. Tonight, of the 61 students that are recognized by the AP Scholar Awards and Illinois State Scholars, we have 38 students that are here tonight. And if you could just join me in congratulating them on their accomplishments for this school year. The first 10 that we're going to introduce are AP Scholars, the first being Damian Bednardzik, Abigail Brown, Matt Cabalas, Carly Cece, Alexander Davis, Evelyn Weezar, Luke Yausums, Anthony Myosic, Alyssa Rodriguez, Christopher Sanchez, and Haley Wichert. The next group of students are students that reach the AP Scholar with Honor status, the first being Jimena Ariza, Lillian Borbis, Trinity Espinoza, Nicholas Ferguson, Miranda Fisher, and Thomas Magjak. The next group of students are students that received Illinois State Scholar status. These are just the two singular ones for Illinois State Scholar, the first being Amy Bohr and Emma Podojil. The next couple students that we're going to announce are students that achieved Illinois State Scholar status along with AP Scholar status. The first is Joshua Garcia, Justice Heisterman, Kaylee Casper, Jacob Kyle Salazar, Francesca Austriaco, Sergio Don Diego, Madison Durdek, Nathan Florendo, Veronica Ironica, Aaliyah Cosme, Christopher Salamanca, Savannah Strumpf. And the last students that we have to go off the list are the students that have reached AP Scholar with Honor and Illinois State Scholar status. Or no, those were the students with honor distinction. Sorry, the last group is the Illinois State Scholar and AP Scholar with distinction. The first is Godfred Ajay Darko, Corel Baltazar, Jessica Checky, Alexa Diaz, Andrew Gura, Daniel Kalishek, Patricia Kavakoski, and Anthony Zaka. And a very special congratulations to all the students here, and definitely wish a big good luck to our Lady Raiders that are playing in the, I think it's the Super Sectional tonight down at Illinois Wesleyan. So good luck to the Lady Raiders that are playing tonight, and congratulations to all our award winners tonight. Valley View is a wonderful place to be.
Quick update before Miss Reddy takes the mic. Raiders were up 33-24 at halftime in the Super Sectional. Go ahead.
Hi there, I'm Chris Ruddy, Assistant Principal at Bolingbrook High School. On behalf of Bolingbrook High School, the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, and the state of Illinois, I am pleased to announce that these exceptional students have been named a 22-23 State Scholar, one of the highest and brightest and best of Illinois high school seniors in the class of 2022. The combination of their exemplary college assessment scores and record of high school achievement indicates they have a high potential for success in college. Being designated a state scholar is a prestigious honor on their academic resume. The achievement of these students are a credit to their perseverance and resilience, and to the support and encouragement of their families. Many of you are here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Principal, teachers, mentors, counselors, and other invested in their growth and success. Bolingbrook High School is pleased to announce that 57 students from the graduating class of 2022 have been designated as Illinois State Scholars. I would like to recognize those that are here this evening and present them with a State Scholar certificate to each of them. Gabriella Avila, Annika Babu, Caitlin Barber, Gianna Kapp, Hannah Chow, Kaylee Dwyer, Sarah Fino, Julianne Flores, Lizeth Garcia Perez, Emma Harvey, Albert Hun, Jeffrey Johnson, Jessica Lazoya, Delaney Moore, Eileen Nigos, Michael Perinas. Aaron Primusberger. Delaney Schaefer. Andrew Stone. Jordan Vanacora. Danielle Louise Vidad. Brett Wasick. And Connor Wasick. Please join me in giving these nice young folks a nice round of applause.
And we have one more Spartan that just wanted to get a little bit of special attention, hid in the audience there from us for a little bit. But I'd like to introduce one more AP Scholar for Romeoville High School, and a big round of applause for the last one of the night, Alexander McCurry.
I just wanted to thank all of our families and students and staff and administrators for coming out this evening. As you can tell, there's so much to celebrate: the success, the growth, and the great character that our students display. We're so proud of you all. And we know you need to get home and get a good night's rest and probably get some homework done too. So thank you for coming. Of course, you're welcome to stay, but you're also free to go. Have a great evening.
Next on the agenda is the Treasurer's Report 2022 for January.
Yes, Treasurer's Act Report 6.1 is the monthly report with financial reports of statement of revenue and expenditures, balance sheets, summary of revenue and expenditures, as well as the interim obligation payments for the months of January, totaling $5,451,181.07 for your action this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussions? Hearing none, seeing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes, motion passes.
The balance of the Treasurer's reports includes the summary of investments for the month of January, the state funding update, property taxes received, as well as the all schools trust account activity through December. Just for information or any questions you might have.
Thank you, Gary. Next on the agenda, consent agenda items. Ms. Kinder.
Okay, we have 6 items underneath consent this evening that we are seeking your approval. 7.1, board meeting minutes, February 7th, 2022. 7.2, special board meeting minutes, February 16th, 2022. 7.3, executive session meeting minutes, February 7th, 2022. 7.4, gifts to Beverly Scoff, BJ Ward, Irene King, Jonas Salk, John R. Tibbet, Kenneth L. Hermanson, Oakview, Pioneer, Robert C. Hill, Woodview, Bolingbrook High School, and district libraries. 7.5, Bolingbrook High School and Romeoville High School trips, and 7.6, addendum to superintendent contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes, motion passes. Board liaison reports. From my right? From my left?
I just want to say that we completed 4 sessions to determine how Valley View can best prepare our students for post-secondary life by revisioning our district's strategic plan. I'm excited tonight. Superintendent Kinder will be presenting our portrait of a learner, so stay tuned.
I have a couple things to mention from Wilco. Earlier is that their Ihhsa state competition. Ihhsa stands for the Health Occupation Students of America for the Future Health and Professionals. We have numerous, there was 11 from Will County that went, and 9 out of the 11 were from our district. Just to kind of just give some people some kudos here and there. Ariella Razos from Romeoville placed second place and got a silver medalist in mechanical math. Danielle Lewis Vidid from Bolingbrook, top 10 for mechanical spelling. Jeremy Tirado from Romeoville, the top 10 for cultural diversity knowledge test. Also, he received the top 10 for home health aid. Jessica Cece from Romeoville, community emergency response top 10. Back to Jeremy, he received the top 10 also in the community emergency response. Jessica Cece received the top 10 in home health aid, along with the health care display. And Annabelle Peachy from Romeoville, top 10 in health lifestyles. Along with that, the FCCLA state qualifiers is the Family Career and Community Leaders of America. From the child care provider, Jessica Garcia from Bolingbrook received a gold medal for the most outstanding entry. From the baking and pastry, it was Danielle Boyd from Bolingbrook with a bronze medal. Preschool lessons were Lauren Herdlick from Bolingbrook with a bronze, and Anhai Akale from Romeoville with a bronze medal. Children literacy was Kaylee Casper from Romeoville with a silver medal. I just want to take a moment to recognize our other students that sometimes that are not here that go to Wilco. Audience participation. Is there anyone that would like to address the board? If so, please state your name and remember that due to time constraints, you have 5 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Krista Simpson, and I am the Assistant Activity Director at Romeoville High School and also a proud member of the Romeoville Rotary Club. And tonight I would like to introduce to you Michelle Smith, who is our current Rotary President, Kirk Openchowski and Tom Joust, two huge supporters of our school and longtime members of Rotary, to present some information to you about what Rotary does for our schools.
Hi, everybody. On behalf of the Rotary Club, I want to thank each of you for having us here tonight. We wanted to come out and thank the school board, Superintendent Kinder, and all of the school staff for their dedication to our community. Serving our students and their families through these unknown times these past couple years and finding solutions amongst the many differing opinions is definitely not an easy task. We appreciate the countless hours you've put in and the commitment you have for helping our students succeed. We find that many people have heard about Rotary, but many don't know exactly what we do. Rotary is a service-based leadership organization that supports its community with chapters located across the world. Our local club is made up of some pretty great individuals, like Bill Taylor, our founding president from when we chartered our club 22 years ago. Bill is the retired village manager for the village of Romeoville. Other members include Dawn Caldwell, our current village manager, Wayne Drought, retired vice president for Lewis University, Yolanda Farmer, our current executive, who's the current executive vice president for JJC, Angie K. Luzbatak, who's the dean of student success at JJC, the retired police chief, Mark Turvey, retired CFO for the village of Romeoville, Kirk Openchowski, Linda Sanfilippo from the Illinois State Little League, Tom Jost from the American Legion, Tom Hess, the head of security for Sitco, Jennifer Hannon, the community relations for Sitco, Derek Kinder, our principal at RHS, and Krista Simpson, the assistant activity director for RHS, and then myself, the president and CEO for Z&B Consulting. I love how so many of our members who served our community during their time working have stayed on to help support us in their retirement. So as a club, we meet every Wednesday from 12 to 1 over at At's and Ice Pizza. Most weeks we have a speaker who provides education or is a nonprofit that shares how we can partner with them to serve our community and spread the word about what they do. In addition to volunteering, we do fundraisers to raise dollars so we can give back to the community. The Romeoville schools are one of our main recipients of funds and why we wanted to come here and share with you tonight. And we've been fortunate to collaborate with the schools on many initiatives throughout the years. Just recently, we reached out to all the 3rd and 4th grade teachers, and they gave us a wish list of books for their classroom library. We purchased the requested books and also gave each classroom a special book that we chose called Why Our Classroom is a Family. We're gifting a copy of that book to each of you today. At the height of COVID, we partnered with the Bolingbrook Rotary Club and reached out to the Early Childhood Center to see how we could support them through a matching grant that Rotary District 6450 gave to us. We purchased wipe-off boards that the schools sent home to students so that they could learn during those COVID times. Each year, we provide scholarships to high school seniors. Any high school seniors listening this year, that scholarship application is going out this week. We send students from RHS to a weekend-long youth leadership program, and we honor our top 10% of graduating seniors. We also sponsor an Interact Club at RHS, the high school level version of Rotary, and work in partnership with them to do good in our community. On April 3rd, we're doing a Pancake Breakfast fundraiser with the Easter Bunny in collaboration with the Interact Club. The students will help us with serving food, basket raffles, and photos with the bunny. The fundraiser proceeds will provide the scholarships for our high school seniors that we'll be giving away. Later in the month, they'll also help us with our spring cleaning service project fundraiser, where people can drop off donations they no longer want in their house. As I mentioned, we have a gift for each of you today. It's a copy of the unique book we added to each of the teachers' wish lists, an adorable creative photo that the children from Mrs. Walter's 4th grade class at RC Hill sent to us to share their thanks. A ticket to our pancake fundraiser that we'd love for you to attend and help us spread the word about so that we can increase the proceeds we can give in scholarships to the high school seniors, and a Romeoville Rotary Club notebook. In closing, I'd like to say that we're always looking for like-minded people to join Rotary, so if any of you are interested or any of our parents who are listening, we'd love to have you or anyone you know come join us. That does include, as I said, all of our families, and come join us in our community. Not only here, but if you live in Bolingbrook, join that community as well. And I mentioned a lot of people in businesses. We have parents who help us as well. It doesn't have to be in businesses. So if you're free during the day and want to join us once a week for lunch and help in partnering with the district, let people know because we love to help them. The more people that join us, the more we can make a difference for our schools. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you to the Rotary members that came. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Michelle. And I see we have somebody else.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leyland Smith. I'm a student at RHS. I came here to talk about how it is unfair how people are treated just based off their beliefs. Students as well as staff are bullied for their choice to mask or not. And like all bullies, they gain their power by taking power away from others. These mandates that Valley View enforced have been illegal and still are. School districts are required to follow due process under the law. Guidelines and mandates do not give school districts the right to take away your freedom. You are required to follow the law. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lori Smith. Congratulations to all the students tonight. I just want to say that. As we all know, the courts have ruled that the mandates that were in place have been illegal, and a lot of us knew that already. I would like to address a few comments by Mr. Quigley at the February 7th board meeting. I quote, "We just want to educate kids. I didn't sign up for all this, but it's the burden we've been given to eat. We're not trying to violate anyone's due process." Unfortunately, Mr. Quigley, that's exactly what the district did this year. Kids were sent home for 5 to 10 days, required to test or vaccinate, to participate in activities. Those were all violations of one's due process. Mandates do not give the schools the right to violate that. It doesn't matter if you're pro-mask or not. These were violations of rights, and everyone should be concerned that this happened and was allowed. Mr. Quigley also mentioned that some board members do not get paid and sit for hours discussing these matters and asked for community involvement. You're right, some may not get paid, and board members choose to run for these positions, and it is your job to listen to these concerns. Parents have been pleading for the past year about masks and having options, all while providing facts at these board meetings, and chose to do what they wanted to do under the guise of mandates and guidelines. I'm sorry, but I don't feel that the parents were heard. Attorneys had spoken out this entire year across the state about these issues, and schools refused to listen. It is now that only the courts have ruled that this has changed. There was a parent at the February 7th board meeting who asked for remote learning for her child due to their health issues. She asked for an option, not a one-size-for-all, just like the rest of us were doing, asking for options. She should be able to have this option for her child, and I ask that the board consider possibly having remote learning for those who are uncomfortable or have health concerns related to COVID or any illnesses. While masks are not optional, since the Circuit, Appellate, and Illinois Supreme Courts have ruled, I am sure there will be more times that these mandates and guidelines are forcefully put into place again. I also note that in the layered mitigations by VVSD, there is mention of masks mandated for a certain level of transmission. If any of that happens, I do expect that VVSD will follow the law and the students will be given their due process. I also request now that since the courts have ruled and the schools have provided optional masking, that the signs in the hallways at RHS be removed that say masks required. Everyone has a right to feel safe, a duty to protect oneself, and I understand the anxieties and the concerns from parents and kids. I am a parent, and I have those concerns as well. Just because someone chooses not to mask does not mean they don't have health issues or family members that may be immunocompromised, but it's still their choice. And I hope that VVSD continues to remind students and staff to respect each other's choices, because one's beliefs do not give the right to take another's freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're on to Superintendent Action Reports. Ms. Kinder, Mathematics for Social Justice course.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Zach. Action Report 10.1 is the approval of a high school mathematics elective course, Mathematics for Social Justice. This is an elective at the high school level that will allow students to apply mathematical skill set and deeper exploration of social topics. A team of educators and administrators led by Mr. Adam Herder, Executive Director for 612, Mrs. Christy Vey, Director of Math and Science for 612, and many additional educators, one who's in the audience tonight. Thank you, Mrs. Morrow, for being here again. Worked very hard on this course and spent time answering questions and following up with any additional information that was needed, and we thank them for their efforts. We are recommending the approval of the course this evening.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have questions or any discussions?
I would just like to say thanks to Adam for taking time out. I think it was Friday. Let me go over the book and let me borrow the book, and don't forget I have it in the car, Adam.
Okay. Thank you for that. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Pero?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Thank you. Action Report 10.2, I'm seeking your approval on student due process cases A through C as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion, a second. Do we have any questions or discussions? Hearing none, seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Member Badouris?
Abstain.
Member Campbell?
No.
Member Venegas?
No.
Member Pero?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Motion passes. 3 yeses. Action report, Mr. Grizafi.
One action for you this evening is student transportation bus lease. Our 2017 lease agreement with Midwest Transit for 15 school buses expires on June 30th of this year. We have a proposal to replace those vehicles with 14 model year 2023 IC conventional school buses on a 5-year lease. We are also in discussions to lease 1 electric bus, and we'll present that agreement to the board at a future meeting. Our Director of Transportation, Dave Richards, is recommending accepting the lease from Midwest Transit, our current supplier, with the following bus terms: 13 of the 30 passenger conventional buses at a unit cost of $17,362 annually, as well as 1 20+3 passenger wheelchair bus with track seating at $18,967 annually. The combined annual lease payment for these 14 units totals $244,673, again for the 5-year term. This lease includes all costs for onboard audio-visual recording, 2-way radio, as well as the GPS and electronic inspection module. And so at this time, we are recommending, again, approval of the bus lease with Midwest Transit Equipment, Inc., pending attorney review and approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or any discussion?
I have a question. I have a couple questions. First of all, is this the first time we've been presented with this information? Or
Yes.
second?
Yes.
So can we go back to what we had asked before? Can we have this in advance and then vote on it the next time? Is there a reason we...
Deb, normally I wouldn't have an issue with that. In fact, that is typically what we do, but with supply chain issues and not wanting to be short buses with the opening of the new school year, I think the sooner we do this, the better.
Okay.
I would just hate to delay it 2 more weeks.
Okay. The other thing is, there was a mention of an electric bus possibility. If that's the case, which I'm not opposed to, that bus would not be able to leave the city, right? It wouldn't be able to do field trips or anything?
Yeah, I've had a good conversation with Director Richards to talk about this pilot that we'd like to put in place. This is a retrofit bus conversion. It's a former fuel-powered, diesel fuel-powered, about half the cost of a new electric bus. And the infrastructure needed to charge this bus wouldn't be what you'd typically find like in a Tesla station off the interstate, where you can pick up a large amount of charge in a short period of time. These would be a trickle charger type of thing. And so again, we're piloting this just to kind of dip our toe in the water, so to speak. So you're right. There is a range limit, but we feel within our daily routine, this bus would handle all duties as requested. But we wouldn't be sending it probably down to Springfield until we really feel comfortable in doing so.
Quick question, Mr. Grizafi, and you may have already explained this, but is this replacing 15 buses, or these these new buses?
These are direct replacements. The
Direct
ones
replacements.
that we have are coming off lease.
And does it come with bus drivers? No, not yet? Come on, Dave.
That's a tough one.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Seeing no more questions, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Dr. Nash, action reports, human resources, please.
Thank you, sir. Action Report 12.1 is our consolidated action report. We're seeking your approval this evening on all items as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or any discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes.
Thank you. Action Report 12.2 is resolution number 2214, authorizing the dismissal of educational support personnel employee for reason other than reduction in force. We are seeking your approval this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Perro?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
No.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Superintendent Information Reports, 13.1, Romeoville High School track replacement. Mr. Gerzafi.
That's me. The running track at Romeoville High sub-base is over 20 years old. A typical track sub-base has a between 15 and 20-year life expectancy. Given the age and condition of the substructure and frequent patching required as a result of the failures, the RHS track is in need of full replacement at this time. That would include removal of the track surfacing and deteriorating asphalt sub-base material, which is approximately 4 inches thick. We're also looking to do the pole vault area, which would be included in this project. Also requesting an alternate bid to replace the existing stone aggregate base in addition to the asphalt for that pole vault area, should the sub-base thickness be insufficient once we look at that. We're in the process right now of taking core samples to determine the soil profile and analysis. Project's scheduled to start after graduation, which is the end of May this year, and anticipated to be completed by the beginning of August. Based on the input from the school, the track season will be held remotely, anticipating here at Lukansic, and the track and stadium at RHS will be closed for the spring and early summer. Funding would come from the Operation and Maintenance Annual Capital Budget for FY 22-23. Bids are currently out and will be open publicly and read aloud on March 1st, hoping to anticipate a recommendation to the board on March 14th. Questions?
Yes.
Nope. Okay. 13.2, board policies.
Okay, moving along. Information report 13.2 is presenting 7 board policies for informational purposes and review prior to seeking approval at the upcoming board meeting. These policies have been reviewed by legal counsel, and they reflect Illinois Association of School Press Policy Service recommendations, as well as any changes necessary due to various state and federal laws. The policies, like I said, have been reviewed by legal counsel. There's been minimal changes, but just as part of our normal process of review, we're presenting these to this evening, and we'll bring them back on March 14th for approval.
Thank you. Superintendent update, 13.3.
Okay, so moving down the agenda, the superintendent update this evening, I have a few COVID-related notes and obviously some celebrations. We've done a lot of celebrating tonight with our all of our students, athletes that were here this evening being recognized. I'd also like to recognize our students from the AVM Student Council who are here with Mr. Ihhsa to observe the process of local governance at a school board. So thank you all for being here on a Monday evening. That's pretty awesome. So definitely lots to celebrate and lots to navigate as we continue to change. But most importantly, I'm just so proud that we continue to accomplish so many great things together for our kids and support each other through the obstacles, through the challenges, and keep persevering. And that is exactly what we do in Valley View School District. So I'm incredibly proud for that. We will have a special recognition of this, but I am just far too excited not to share this with you. It's been released from the Illinois State Board of Education that right here in Valley View School District at the Dr. James Mitchum Early Childhood Center, we have the ISBE's Those Who Excel Early Childhood Educator of the Year, Mrs. Megan Hillegas. It's a phenomenal accomplishment, and I will tell you probably the highlight of my month or many months was visiting Mrs. Hillegas' classroom and seeing those precious children just give her the recognition and just love that she deserves because she pours so much into them, like all of our educators do in Valley View and all of our support staff does as well. So pretty awesome, great celebration. We're going to be celebrating this one for a while. So you'll be seeing Mrs. Hillegas a little bit more. Well-deserved. So on the COVID front, and I thank the parent and the student who spoke this evening, I'm going to look at these bottom 2 rows here on the metrics. We continue to keep our eye on the transmission that's happening in terms of the zip code, the immediate area, as well as in the Valley View. And I'm very pleased that despite the changes that occurred a few weeks ago, we continue to see a low transmission level in the immediate community and in Valley View School District. At the last board meeting on the 26th, we had a special meeting. I brought approval, sought approval from the board on a mitigations plan. With full knowledge that adjustments to this plan might be necessary, that additional guidance would probably come, that things would evolve and we may need to adjust. But the long and short of this was that should conditions change, that we have the ability to adapt and perhaps increase the level of mitigations, including masking, because the primary goal continues and will remain on a safe and healthy learning environment for our students and staff, as well as in-person learning. And we've accomplished that, and our staff, thanks for their tremendous efforts and the partnership with our families and the hard work of our students, we're continuing on a very, very good pace and momentum with that, and we want to keep that going. So we have this plan in place. We know there's recently been some updated guidance from the CDC, and of course we will continue to monitor as well as things evolve. We are at a level 1, that means minimal transmission. In the approved plan, that did indicate recommended masking based on the thresholds, the metrics that are currently happening in the district and in the community. And the most recent update, you see that little asterisk at the bottom, the local conditions and the CDC guidance will inform future updates to this. So we have this plan here. I hope that this becomes an artifact, a thing of the past, that we never have to refer to this. But we do continue to watch closely what the epidemiologists, what the public health experts believe. And we know that there could be a point in the future where we do see some type of resurgence, a surge, other variants, some evolution with this long, long journey that we've been on with COVID. I hope that's not the case. But if it does, our focus will remain on keeping a healthy and safe school community and keeping our kids together with us here in person where they belong. So the new guidance that I referred to that came out on Friday, I'll give you the kind of the Cliff Notes version of that. The CDC has essentially changed their position on universal masking in the K-12 school setting based on how the evolution of COVID has come along and how immunity and variants have progressed. So they are now looking at this in terms of COVID-19 community levels. Their new levels are high, medium, and low. And their metrics are based on case levels, strain on the hospital system. That includes admissions and capacity. So basically, is COVID-19 putting a strain on the hospital systems in any given community? And if the answer to that is no, which is true for a large majority of communities in the United States, the CDC is saying masks are optional when you're at this lower medium level for the general population. And this includes in the K-12 school setting. So we have continued to use the guidance as a guide, as a reference, and to help us kind of navigate. And so we are going to continue to do so in this case as well. They really emphasize in this guidance on individual decision making, and I think our parents said that very well, that respecting individuals' personal preferences based on their personal risk or just their personal preference is what we expect and what we want to be the norm in our school district. I think this has been a pretty dramatic shift and change for many students, many adults alike, and I think we're doing a great job. I can't say that, I said before, I don't think we have a perfect scorecard. I know there's bumps in the road, but we are addressing those as we come to them, and most importantly, individual decision-making is in place. We are respecting that, and I think you saw just by the large audience that was here tonight, some individuals had masks on, some did not. Some individuals chose to wear double masks, some did not. And essentially that's what this guidance is reaffirming. I mean, we knew this, but it is now reaffirming that. It is also saying that the community should have an ability to respond if needed, if they're seeing conditions start to become concerning in terms of the strain on hospitals or case levels. So we will continue to monitor that. One change of note, which an email went out a couple hours ago this evening, due to the recent modification, is that we will follow the recommended guidance based on the current threshold of a low level of transmission, and masks will be optional on our school buses and district transportation effective immediately. That the caveat to that is that while we are at this low level of transmission, this will remain in effect. If this changes in the future, again, I certainly hope that's not the case, we will have to revisit that if we see increased masking as a mitigation that we would like to employ to limit transmission when students are on transportation or in the school setting. That is not the case at this time. And I hope that the spring and the summer continues us on a very positive trajectory with that. So that's all on the COVID front. I look forward to a day when there are no updates related to COVID-19 or anything of that nature, and I'm hopeful that that will be the case. And then we can solely focus all of our efforts on the good stuff. And that is the supporting, teaching, learning, growing as students, as learners, as educators, as professionals, as parents, as partners, and that's what we're here to do. We all have that common goal, and in the next very brief information report, I'm gonna share some exciting news, which I hope helps us to see that we're kind of getting back on the track to where the updates and the news and the business at the board meeting will be less on the health front and hopefully more on the positive growth that we together are making as a school community. And so that is it for my update, superintendent information report this evening. And then the next report is a brief note. I am sharing a memo as well as a couple documents with the board to review prior to the upcoming board meeting. This is specific to the Portrait of a Learner process. Since September, I've shared updates with the community, and there's beautiful faces of some of our children here in the district. And since September, we've had some, I guess, slowdowns, some bumps in the road in getting this process going, but we've kept on pace, and we are together as a team of community stakeholders of more than almost 100 individuals of students, staff, leaders, parents, community partners, business members, alumni, a great representation, diverse representation of voices that have come together since September when we kicked off this process. And we are very excited to you at the next board meeting, we'll be presenting to you the the final set of competencies that reflect the portrait of a learner that we have kind of built together as our aspirations, kind of our hopes and dreams for the skills, attitudes, mindsets that we want our students to have in relation to the strong academic and social emotional skills. So we will be sharing the Portrait of a Learner formally with the community and the board at the next board meeting on March 14th. And we will be seeking your approval on that at that time. And then that will launch our next phase, our next effort with strategic planning. And the voices of our learners and the voices of our staff and community will continue to be at the heart of this process as we look to grow and evolve into the next step and talk about what is our shared vision for our kids when they leave Valley View School District, from our littlest learners at the James Mitchum Early Childhood Center to our students when we graduate. We saw a lot of our big kids tonight, our high school students, accomplishing many great things, and we want to continue to ensure that they are as ready as ever for the complexities of the world, for the changing world, and whether they are entering the workforce, college, career, or enlisting, enrolling, whatever it is, they are choice ready, and we will continue to do the absolute best that we can to get every learner every day in Valley View School District to that place. So next board meeting, March 14th, we hope to have a packed audience again with members from our design team that will be sharing with you the product of their efforts over the past several months. Thank you.
Dr. Nash, job descriptions.
Thank you. Information report 13.5 is job descriptions. Attached are 2 job descriptions for your review. Both are for positions that primarily serve students in our special education programs. However, their expertise is not limited to students with individual education plans. We will be seeking approval for these descriptions at the March 14th, 2022 board meeting.
Thank you. Legal service?
Nothing to report.
No problem. Okay. Association, AFT, any report? Valley View Council, any report? Valley View Office Personnel Council, any report? Thank you. Old business from the board? Any new business from the board? The Freedom of Information Act, the FOIA link is on the VVSD website with logged FOIA information items available. Any announcements from the board? To my right?
I have something. As I'm sure many of you guys know, a war broke out in Europe last week. The Compass Church in Bolingbrook is taking donations to send to a church in Moldova that is providing food and clothing. The majority of the hundreds of thousands of people that have left the country are all women and children. As many of you guys know, all the males have stayed back to defend their country. So if you guys are looking to participate and help out, the Compass Church in Bolingbrook, which is on Briarcliff.
151 is Briarcliff.
151 Briarcliff is taking donations to send to help with humanitarian aid. So.
I have a couple announcements. First of all, just a reminder for the school board members that the Three Rivers Division, our meeting is tomorrow at Homer CCSD 33C. There's going to be a tour of the school at 5:30, and the meeting starts at 6 o'clock. So all our Three Rivers Division members are invited, which we are a part of it. And so hope to see you there. And then I'm just so excited tonight about all the family. And I just, look, you see this book, Our Class is a Family. And that's what I heard tonight. And we've said it so many times that our Valley View School District is a family. And for all, as I have a girlfriend say, everybody's bodies, all those that we talked about tonight. And I just like to hear in character, you know, it's not just about sports, academics, it's just about the whole, our special needs and our little ones, early childhood. That's where my favorite is at, since that's who I work with all during the week. And so I'm just thanking God for each and every one of you, for Superintendent Kinder, for my fellow board members, and all this family that we are beginning to mesh as we are really a village, and that we love one another, and we definitely can agree, y'all. Some of you vote no on some things tonight, that we agree to disagree, but it's all because that we're out here for the benefit, and Principal Loretta, and just a concern for everybody's bodies count. And I'll keep saying red and yellow, black and white, they're all precious in God's sight. So I just thank God that I'm a part of this Valley View School District family.
Thank you, Vice President Big Zach. I just want to say three comments, actually. First of all, my transportation and logistic comment. I want to just say I have seen our Dave Richards and team do a fantastic job throughout the year, and I'm glad we're getting new buses, so that's awesome. Because I know, you know, we've had some shortages with bus drivers, and I know our director, Dave Richards, has been driving buses, doing mechanic work, answering phones, doing everything. So appreciate all the hard work that our transportation and logistics team does, and so that's fantastic. The other two pieces is I know it's been a really rough year, and you know, it's been tensions. I know as board member Gutierrez shared, you know, the situation out in Europe, and it's been insane. And considering all the insanity in the world and all the insanity that we have gone through here with the pandemic and all of the changes with the state and all this stuff that's going, I think we've done a phenomenal job. Seeing all these APs, all this celebration today just shows the spirit and the heart of our school district. And congratulations to all the staff, all the administration, our superintendent, and everyone who has made that successful. Because at the end of the day, it just shows that things do work when we work together. So congratulations to all of the folks that were recognized today. And also, I noticed President Quigley wasn't here, so my prayers and thoughts are with him and his family. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Nice sketch. I have a couple things. First of all, I attend a lot of sporting events in the Bolingbrook area, and you would, if you ever attend them, you'd be so proud of our kids. They are the most genuine, nicest people you'd ever meet. You know, it's unbelievable to see them and how they work together, how they support each other, how nice they are to the adults in the area. It's wonderful to see. Second of all, please don't forget our Valley View Educational Enrichment Foundation dinner is March 11th. We need people there to support us so that we can raise some money for grants for the teachers. Thank you.
On March 12th, the Knights of Columbus is having their St. Patty's Day dinner over at Fat Ricky's. Gary Hoffman would be the person to contact for any tickets. I also would like to say how nice it was to look out into the audience and see a bunch of children here, their parents, and being recognized. It does seem that the tables are turning, that we have people out, and I don't think people understand how we look at it, and we haven't had the children here for such a long time to recognize them. And that means a lot to us up over here. And go ahead, Diane. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You done?
I'm sorry, I thought you were done. I wanted to say that H2O is hosting their annual 3-on-3 basketball tournament on Sunday, March 6th. And where's it at? Is it at the Park District?
Brooks.
Is it at Brooks? It's at Brooks Middle School, and I believe it starts at noon. And if you want to just go watch some young kids play basketball, have a good time, and play their hearts out, it's a lot of fun.
Do we have any announcements from the administration?
I have the honors of sharing one final celebration. I just got informed that our Lady Raiders girls basketball team won the super sectional against Edwardsville and will be advancing to the Ihhsa state finals. So congrats, Lady Raiders, our players, coaches, and team. Some more celebrations and excitement to come.
Okay, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, ayes? Ayes have it. Thank you for attending tonight. Safe driving home.